everybody, Nino the Mystic here, and welcome to episode 1 of Beyond Truth. Starting this year, we're going to start a whole new thing here. It's kind of the same content, but not, you know what I mean? But welcome, come on in, everybody, and get ready, because we got a great show for you tonight. Robert, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. First episode. Woo! Where's the applause tonight?
Yeah, I know, right? We should.
That's right. First. There we go. There's the crowd. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. Oh, yes, I know. We were just talking about the whole YouTube thing. I don't know what's going on. Where is everybody? If you guys have any opinions on that, leave us some comments. Let us know what's going on. What are you seeing with YouTube? Is it disappearing or what's going on here? But anyways, we are branching out though right now to the podcast community. So if you are listening, thank you very much. Welcome. Make sure though that you are following whatever platform that you're on right now, and then hit that like button or heart or whatever it is that's on the platform that you're watching. That helps us out a lot. We are actually also going over onto Bitchute directly from YouTube as well. So if you're over on Bitchute, make sure you follow. I noticed I got quite a few views over there, but nobody's hitting that follow button. You know, they're watching but not following. So if you are over there, make sure you hit that follow button, and then check out all the links. To be honest with you, YouTube is where it's at when it comes to links. They have more room in their description box there. So I do have absolutely every link over on the YouTube. So if you don't mind, just just pause wherever you're at right now, going to the YouTube, hit subscribe over there, hit the bell for notifications. Hopefully you'll get notified. And then check out the description. All the different platforms I manually upload every Monday to both Odysee and Rumble. Okay, so if you're on those platforms, make sure that you follow us there and hit the like again. And if you want to comment, that'd be great. I always get notified and I do go and check that out. So would love to hear from you guys. And also, if you have any, suggestions on guests or topics to talk about, I'm open for that as well. You could either comment on the videos or you can just email me at ninothemystic68@gmail.com. And an easy reminder for everybody, my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, it's all at ninothemystic68. So it's kind of easy to remember there. I just thought I would put that out there right in the beginning here. And if you are looking for us on the podcasts, look for Forbidden Knowledge News Network. I don't know if the news is in there. Forbidden Knowledge Network, anyways, over on Spreaker and all the other podcast platforms, because we're collaborating with them. And so we're under their umbrella over there on the podcast. But you'll see us, us and a whole bunch of other creators are in there. And so you'll see us up in the Forbidden Knowledge Network. So yeah, we'll get that in there. So is anybody, Lucky's here. Welcome, Lucky. A great show last night. Too bad you guys don't have that many views on it yet. But so if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Robert's channel. I have it down in the description, but it's also at Milky Way Soul Tribe, basically over on YouTube as well as Instagram, I guess. Facebook, you don't have a Facebook really for the channel, just those two. Yeah, okay, there you go. So go and look them up there and check out the shows that they got over there. Yeah, something's weird's happening with the YouTube. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. If anybody does know what's going on, let us know, because we're sitting here in the dark trying to figure out what's going on here and what can we do to improve, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is that we're doing or not doing, let us know, otherwise we won't know. So, but before we get on hand of the topic today, which is going to be going over the Economic Forum magazine, I think it's called, Economist or whatever it's called, magazine. They always, every year, they'll have this front page of this weird globe with all the things in it. And I usually do a show on that every year to see what do they have planned for us, you know what I mean, this year, or if I do it earlier, like for next year or whatever. But we did do a show, the year-end sort of reflection kind of show, which was great, by the way. Again, not very many views. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's over on YouTube, Rumble, Odysee. It's up on the podcast already as well. If you want to listen to it, we already have 2 shows up on there already. So if you want to go and check those out. And I also did a whole bunch of shorts. So if you've been noticing all the shorts coming out in the last day or 2, those are all from that show. So if some of those things intrigued you, go over and watch the full episode. Then you get the whole thing in there. And expect more shorts. Robert and I figured out how to do shorts now. So there's going to be a whole lot more shorts coming out. So look out for that. And but yeah, one thing. So we sat there. I'd written down all kinds of things starting from January. And I think I was writing all the way up until basically the fall equinox. For some reason, I stopped writing. But we got a lot of things. But one thing that was announced, I think, right in July. Was it July 1st, I think, that they announced this? Completely forgot. Didn't write it down. Both of us completely forgot about it. And it's one of the things that we put on shows on. I'm pretty sure. I think all of us have shows on that as well. I know we have on this channel. And that was the 3-eye atlas. You know what I mean? Now that we've sort of got out of the whole thing, because, during the new moon, the 19th of December, it was at the closest to Earth and all of this. And so there was a lot of speculation. Was it a comet? Is it a spaceship? Are the gods coming back? I mean, people's imagination was just running wild. And I got to chuckle a little bit with all these channelers, who's channeling information of beings that are in there and all this outlandish stuff. And turns out it's a nothing burger, although I have to say, nothing happened here per se that we're aware of, I guess we would have to say. Who's to say that wasn't something? Because there was, especially just the last couple of weeks here, there has been, I've seen a lot of videos about, it was changing direction, it was doing this, it was doing that, doing odd things that aren't normal to a comet. So who's to say that this, maybe it was somebody visiting? Maybe, but you know what? What I'm thinking is that they probably came, they saw, and they're like, let's get the heck out of here. You know what I mean? And they turn around and left, and they've left our solar system now, apparently. So I don't know. I honestly, I don't think it was anything. And I kind of had that feeling in the beginning. I don't think it's, although we did do a show about, could this be the start of the fake alien invasion? Because this could have been one of those things that they could have used if they wanted to, you know what I mean? But they didn't. So, you know what I mean? So it was just a nothing burger. So there you go. But yeah, it was kind of funny that we both forgot all about it during our year-end reflection video.
Well, the funny part about it is, and I don't know, I'll put it this way, I don't know, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that don't know what is really going on, because I am so confused when it comes to 3-eye atlas, space aliens, UFOs, and everything right now, because they had all this UFO disclosure stuff going on in Congress, and then which was recently, I watched on YouTube, and then just yesterday, I think it was, I seen this news broadcast that they were talking about that the United States is in contact with aliens and the Galactic Federation is real and all this other stuff. And I don't know what to make of it, because I can't tell if it's AI or if it's real anymore. Is it the newscaster telling the news? And then they were talking to somebody in Israel and they were saying, yes, we're getting contact with the aliens and they will be arriving, within the next year and blah, 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 blah. Was it real or was it AI? I'm not sure anymore. It's just giving me, is it 3-eye atlas? Is this really it? And they're covering the whole thing up? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once we first heard about it, because we are sort of expecting it, just because the Illuminati card deck, they've used all the cards in that deck except for this last one, which is the fake alien invasion. So we're kind of expecting something. to do with aliens and some sort of disclosure. And that seems to be on the rise. I mean, hugely. I mean, I'm super excited about the Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out on my birthday, actually, in June 12th, called Full Disclosure. So this is how they're going to do disclosure. It's through the movies, through the series that we're watching and all this kind of stuff, right? It's little bits here and there. And I don't think he's the only one that's coming out with a movie as well. So there's going to be several of these sort of movies. It might be Netflix series, different things, all about disclosure and all this kind of stuff. And it's like you said, they're spewing it out in the news now. It's all over. And newscasters, I would almost assume now that newscaster job is gone. That whoever we're seeing on screen now is going to be AI. I'm kind of assuming that that's how it is. I mean, let's from a economic view. I mean, it's a lot cheaper for them, right?
Did you hear the news today? The big news is that HP Hewlett Packard is laying off 6,500 workers and replacing them with AI.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So all these jobs, and I've been talking about this for a while now. We know that a lot of these jobs, most jobs, honestly, are going to be gone. Within the next few years. By 2030, all the jobs are gone. Being replaced by AI, robots, whatever. So anything to do with the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? AI. I mean, even sports. You don't really need dudes out there hurting themselves anymore now. It's just AI. They just make it look like a game. You know what I mean? Like you won't know the difference. It's like a video game. They're getting pretty real now when you look at them, right? Like they're not like they were, back in the day. So I would assume that all those jobs are going to be gone and all those big salaries, we're going to save a lot of money. I mean, so yeah. So and the whole thing proving to be human, that's going to be a huge coming up. It's going to be to the point now. And I do believe Canada just passed the bill for that to come in, the digital ID, and you have to prove that you're human. And by having the digital ID, you don't have to prove it. Then you see, because then they can tell. But if you don't, then you have to go through all kinds of rigmaroles. But
wait a minute here. Wait a minute. So, are you in favor of the digital ID, or are you not in favor of the digital ID?
There's pros and cons. I'm a Gemini, of course. I see the convenience of it. Not having to have your passport, your driver's license, your medical information, all of that stuff readily at all times, and just having that, and then not having to prove, and all this. Obviously, that's going to be very, very convenient. Like I'm looking into some immigration stuff right now. Norway's already got it in. You know what I mean? So Canada, we're right behind now. In the US, I'm sure you're right behind there as well. So it's coming. It's not like a matter of, oh, geez, no, it's coming. It's already here. It's a done deal. So there's no sense resisting it, to be honest, because you're not going to be able to do any business without it because you can't prove that you're not a human. You know what I mean? So banking, you're not going to be able to bank. You're not going to be able to do any of that stuff. Anyways, that's not what this show is about. I just thought I would bring that up before we look into the Economist front page here, front cover of it. Now, I do apologize to those who are listening on the podcast. I did say in a previous show that we're going to try to avoid sharing, which I am. However, this is one share. It's just one picture. I'm not going to be going fumbling, trying to find this and find that. We're just going to be looking at this one particular picture. Now, you can find it obviously on the thumbnail of this video. I have it on there if you want to look at it there somehow, if you're able to get a hold of it, or just Google it and you can find it up on your computer, or better, buy the magazine if you want to sit there and have it in your hand while we're talking so you can go along and see what we're talking about. You should still get the gist of everything, obviously, without having to see it, but it would be a better experience for you if you are looking at it. And again, I do suggest to jump over to YouTube if you have the opportunity. Make sure you hit the subscribe over there and see it. You know what I mean? It's always better than just listening. But hey, if a podcast is it for you, then no worries. So we might, so it looks like Robert's frozen. Hopefully he's still with us here. Are you
Yes.
still here? Yeah, there you are. Okay. It's just
Yes.
sometimes it's just on my side and the YouTube is fine, but it's just in the studio that you're frozen. I don't know. But anyways, I have a giant photo here of it. Huge, so that we can see. So we might as well start at the top here, I guess. I was looking at it earlier today, and so in the background here, these all look like little boom booms going off, and it
Yep.
goes all the way around. So to me, what I'm getting from that is like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of boom booms in the far distance, so not here. Everything revolves around America, North America, of course, for now. We're going to see a little bit further down there. That's not going to be the case in the future, unfortunately. But right now, everything revolves around America. So when we say far away is far away from us. Okay, so which is normally how these things go anyways, or have been in the past. So a lot of boom booms, around this whole thing in the far distance. Let's see where I go. So we're starting off. And one thing I noticed as well is a lot of pills. There's a picture of pills everywhere here. And you'll see more as we go. I thought that was kind of odd. A lot of pills. Then, of course, we got the robot dog. So that's probably going to be more on the rise here, which we already knew. Trump's already got one on his Mar-a-Lago property, walking around there. So expect a lot more of these sort of robot dogs, coming up here. Now, moving here. Now, you see this ship here. Now, at first glance, you might think that's a Viking ship, but it's not. First of all, these guys are not wearing any Viking helmets, which isn't actually historically accurate, but most people associate Vikings with the horn hats. They're not wearing that. That's also more of a Celtic design, I would say. So this ship here, it's not, like I said, Viking. So I'm not sure exactly, but somewhere in Europe, I would say. And they're handing what looks like a pot here of something with something in it, a gift. He's gifting somebody something. Is this Zelensky here? Yeah, that's him, isn't it? That's Zelensky.
That looks like.
So maybe they're gifting the Ukraine something. It kind of looks like he's sort of handing it towards him. Now, America just didn't they just give him something? How many billions of dollars a game?
Oh yeah, billions.
Billions of dollars. Now I don't know. So if Europe is going to do the same, or somebody is going to be gifting them something, but that is Zelensky from the looks of it. He's got binoculars in his hand, which means then that he's watching. And also here you got this thing here. There's submarines are also watching. And you got this here. That's also part of surveillance, watching, observing. So I would say a lot of spy stuff. Spying on, he's watching, everybody's watching everybody, I guess, The kind of thing. And again, pills, tons of pills everywhere. Just pills. Now we can move a little further this way now then. This goes without saying. We might as well get right into the middle here, and I'm going to work out from there. 250, obviously. Who has a birthday of 250 this year?
The post office.
The post office, which probably also did, because it probably started at the same year. America, obviously, is turning 250 this year. So, and that's July 4th, for those who don't know. There might be people watching from Europe or somewhere here. July 4th is the birthday of America. July 1st is the anniversary of Canada, but we're not quite 250 yet. So this is July 4th. I would think then that's representing around that time, I would think. Now, so you've seen celebrating. We got balloons. Yay, we're all celebrating. But what else is happening here, right? Is this a prediction that around July 4th that we're going to have some things flying from our country into another country? I don't want to say too many trigger words here. This is why you should probably watch it rather than just listen, because there's some things that I just have to say in code, because we are on Facebook right now, so that's even worse. You know what I mean? So I look out for that. there could be maybe a lot more intensity with the WARs at that time. I don't know. And then you
Well,
have this. Okay, you want to intercede before I
I
keep
was
going?
going to say, if you notice, they're different sizes and different kinds.
Yeah,
Like the one to
it's bigger.
I guess it'd be your right, the funny
My
looking
left.
one, that big one, that one's and then the other two are different shapes. I think that has something to do with it too.
That could be. So it's a multitude of weaponry.
Well, they do have them faster than the speed of sound ones. You know, those light speed ones now. Hypersonic. That's the word I'm looking for. Hypersonic ones.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
wouldn't
everybody's saying is
know.
a new thing. Can't be shot down because it's hypersonic.
Oh, cool. Well, that sounds very cool, but I wouldn't know what that looks like, and I don't know if they would be able to represent that
Well,
accurately.
I would suppose that the tip of the point, being it's like a needle, you would make it go faster.
So it needs to be faster. Yeah. Anyways, let's not get wrapped up in that, okay? Because we don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's up for debate, or what type of missiles they are, or whatever. You know what I mean? Just be on the lookout. I would say for that coming from America, though. I would say it's coming sort of right next to the cake here. Same with
Mm-hmm.
this hand. So this kind of goes with that logo that I made there a year or two ago. We do not consent. So this kind of represents resistance. And as you see here, resistance is being arrested, okay, directly to the cake as well. So I would say there's going to be a lot more, protests and resistance and those type of things coming up. But be aware, they're talking here, they're going to be arresting a lot more. There's going to be a lot more arrests and stuff like that. So,
Or that could mean lockdown. Handcuffs locked down, tied down, locked
I
down.
don't think so. That's not the feeling I got. This represents resistance, a resistant movement. This is a sort of universal sign of, standing up for your beliefs and all that, which is what protests are all about. Now, but like I said, they're warning you here. I would say, to me, this is my interpretation of it. You guys probably have a whole different, thing. To me, this just a warning. If you want to go out there and protest, be aware that this might be happening to you. More likely this year, they are warning you. And whoops, I went a little too far there. Yeah, and it's coming right from the cake. So the cake, it looks like the cake is falling, and all this dust is coming out, right? You see all this kind of dust or whatever you want to call that.
Well, the thing is if you're right, then the cake represents the United States. And
yes,
you see the container ship there now that you're pointing at the container ship. I remember reading about how China was going to use container ships, and they were filling those container ships with guns and artillery. And see how they're shooting at the cake?
Yeah, there's something shooting at that, or is it coming? It looks like it's going from the cake to there. So that means
it's coming out of. You see the little bullet head out of the explosion of one of the guns coming out of there. You see?
Yeah, it does kind of. Okay, okay. I got you now. Okay, so they'll be shooting at America. So that's a Trojan horse, is what we call that. It comes in pretending to be a cargo ship, and then as we get closer to, all of a sudden there's actually something else going on in there. So that's a Trojan horse. So you guys can look that up, exactly what that is. It is a historical thing that happened, and are they going to do it again? Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we are waiting for a black swan event of some sort. Could this be it? Who knows? And again, it's shooting at America, of course. So that is kind of, look out for that. Are we actually going to get, hit on our own soil this time? Because so far we haven't. North America hasn't had a single, except for the Hawaiian thing. Other than that, they haven't had, which I heard was actually their own. So whatever, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, so look out for that. I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you. I wasn't I just looked at this today. Now, before we get too far down there, so yeah, you got the American flag, you got the resistance, but they're getting arrested. And again, more pills, planes. There could be maybe more about the planes. This is all in the
That's that's a drone plane. It looks like a
this
drone
one.
plane.
That does not look
Yeah.
like a drone to me, but that's what your interpretation is. It could be. And then here, this thing though looks like a rocket ship to me.
It is. That's the rocket that they shot Captain Kirk. You know, that's what's his name from Amazon or whatever. It has that rocket, and they sent them women. Remember, we did a show on that.
Yeah,
that little capsule is.
No, wait a minute. This is all coming. This is not from last year.
That's the rocket ship that what's his name sends up and puts the celebrities in.
Okay, I don't know about that, but I wouldn't.
Yes, that's trust
okay.
me.
That's what Robert thinks. That's what Robert thinks. Okay, that's fine. Well, it remains to be seen. However, I wouldn't be surprised that Musk or whatever. I guess Musk is the one that's more outspoken. That he does do a Mars trip. If this is all happening here, if I had the money and I had the access to something like this, I would be getting out of Dodge. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is this going to be the first Mars thingy coming? I don't know. Again, remains to be seen. We don't know for sure. It's just that they put it there. It's there.
Oh, you know what? I know what that is now. Okay, the small rockets with the tips on are representation of those hypersonic ones. That big one, big one with
these now.
That's Elon Musk's Starship. That one he sends off. You know, the SpaceX. No, the other one. The one by the hand. No, that one. That's the Elon Musk SpaceX ship. And the other one is what's his name from Amazon? What's his name?
Bezos.
Bezos ship. That's Bezos spaceship. I've seen it a number of times, so I know I recognize it.
Okay, well, this has got a lot of coverage in this small little picture. So I would, they're definitely telling you there's going to be more of that coming up this year. Okay, Again, a lot of pills in the background, pills here, pills everywhere. Pills here, pills everywhere. And here's a satellite dish right up towards this cargo ship again. Oh, and here's looks like rockets are going from it, flying off of it.
Yeah.
So there's something big is going to be happening with this cargo ship, for sure. There's going to be some serious events happening with the cargo ship. So look out for that. I'm a little bit nervous because my son works down at the docks, and I don't like the idea of, anyways. Moving right along so we don't take up too much time. Now, you got what looks like a video game controller with, of course, a big line going all the way to the brain. And then you got a bunch of pills here. When I saw this, I think a lot of people are going to be taking a lot more pills in order to get through this. I think a lot of young people are probably going to get medicated and play a lot of video games just to numb themselves out.
Well, did you? I think this is a representation of something. If you heard lately, and I looked it up and I heard it, it was that Apple has designed new iPods that can read your brain waves, and therefore you can put those earbuds in, and they'll read your brain waves. And great. You can use those to be the controller.
You just use your brain. You just think it, and it happens rather than having to use your fingers. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be. There might be some more of that, but it's just weird. All these pills everywhere. Is it going to be an increase of people taking things to get through the day, or is it something that's new stuff that's coming out that they want us to take? Who knows? Again, remains to be seen. It's really odd that there's so much of it, and it was all around this video game. And I wouldn't be surprised that
it could have something to do with the China thing you were talking about.
We're going to get to that in a second. We're going to get to that in just a second. That's almost like I don't want to get to that quite yet. because that's going to be like the big climax in the whole thing here. But we're seeing tankers, obviously. Now, who are these people? I wasn't sure who those people were.
Oh,
I
it
see
looks like
here.
some kind of doctor.
Could it be Fauci, maybe? The
Could be.
pale Fauci.
Looks
I'm
like
not sure who that chick is. Long
I don't
blonde
know.
hair.
Oh, Erica Kirk. Erica.
Okay. What is she doing with Fauci and the tanks and everything? That just, it looks
I
kind of
I
odd.
don't know. I
But you know
have
what?
no
They're
idea.
going to use her for whatever they can, because that one there,
Well,
she's for
all I was thinking is, what other woman that we recently know of that has long blonde hair that's really in the news, like all over the place?
she's so unpopular. I don't see them using her. To
Just
be
saying.
honest, she's so unpopular. I don't see her carrying on for long. I think she's pretty much expanded, but whatever. Who knows who that is? You guys can comment down below who you think that blonde chick is. I'm assuming it's blonde hair. It just looks white, but who knows? Or who that person's role would be. But more satellite dishes around here. We got a guy with a missile thing over here. That's not good.
It's one
More
of those
tanks,
anti-tank weapons.
robot things. And then this actually is kind of disturbing to me. And I hope that this doesn't become mandatory again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's here. I'm not going to say it out. It's the thing that was a big deal in 21. Everybody has to take it. The hokey pokey. We all have to take the hokey pokey. That's right. Or no play for you. Because it's here and then it's down here again as well. So it's definitely going to be, a pain in the butt for us again this year from the looks of it. And if you don't, the robot dog will get you, and there's another small little thing with something on it as well. So there's a lot of that. Yep. So it definitely looks like the WAR is going to be on the forefront for sure. Here's another medicine bottle. Again, pills, medicine bottles. There's a drink that's spilt out. That's kind of weird.
Well, again, I think it's hinting, where do we get most of our medications from? We get them from.
I know. Actually, to be honest, I don't even want to talk about that whole medicine thing, because that's where we get in trouble. Yeah. I'm just looking here. These tracks look like they're going towards her, or they're going. No, they're going from her.
Going away.
So I wonder if she is, whoever this is, and they might use her, but although she's so unpopular now, to start something. Somehow she starts something. Is coming from her. So I don't know. On the lookout for that. But let's get into the good juice. And this is something I just kind of really recently realized. And I think I talked about it on your show, or I can't remember where I talked about it now. But I realized that because once you start noticing that all the investors, you see, the new empire is coming. Well, where are people investing? Well, they're investing in China. And that's when I realized, oh, shoot, well, I should have known that, because I've seen what's happened here over the 30 years I've been here. And this kind of confirmed it. Okay, so you got this chart thingy here, I would assume is the stock market. It's going to be going up and down and up and down. Well, it's been doing that lately. But then you got the two crosses here. So that might be Exnay, the stock market. You got your coins, you got your pill there, of course. And who do we got here? Mr. Trumpster.
Mr. Trump, yeah.
Mr. Trumpster over here with lots of pills, Fauci right behind him, of course. That money is floating all over the place. And then you go over here. This is, to me, it looks like the guy from China.
Yep, that's the China guy, Xi Jinping.
And I was wondering, because I know that Trump and all of these people in parliament and whatever, they're all working for the Jays, right? We know that. They're doing the Jays bidding. So I was wondering, like, well, so if China is the new empire, how does Israel and the Jews fit in here? I thought they were.
Well, I know that, but the guy standing right next to him looked like
this was going to be my point, but yeah. So I saw this, and I'm like, oh, so China looks pretty happy, but Netanyahu over here, he doesn't look so happy. He doesn't look so happy at all, does he? No, he looks like he's having a little bit of a tantrum here, actually. Stomping his feet, waving his hands around. He's all upset because this is going to be the top dog. And I don't know, why would he think that he was gonna? Did somebody lie to him? Who this guy is?
That guy, I don't know. I don't know who that guy is. I've been trying to think of who he is, and
because he's up there. Yeah, who is the tall? Is it Baron?
No, can't be Putin because it looks like he's got hair. So Putin's kind of bald. So I don't think it's Putin.
Right. Well, he's a lot taller. That's what I'm looking at. A lot taller than Netanyahu's down here. It goes through shoulder. So it's a tall dude. That could have been a Baron Trump. That's what I was like right away because he's 6'9". But he does have a blue tie, just like him. So maybe it's his buddy,
be a world leader.
Handler. It could be his handler or leader or somebody has a connection with Netanyahu, I would say.
Probably another country we don't pay attention to.
Could be sort of patting him on the back, saying, "Oh, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it." He's definitely having, he's definitely having a tantrum. And China, well, they're all happy as happy can be. And so if you guys are looking, that's the thing. Like, things are going to happen whether you want it or not. And the trick is to look for opportunities here. Okay, so I'm no financial advisor, but I would, if you have money and you want to invest, I would invest in China. Not in the stocks, because you can see not in stocks, but in companies. This is what happened to America. When America got founded, all the rich guys in Europe all invested in America. That's how America started. They got the funding money, the founding members, the founding money to start something. Well, with I don't know what China is up to be honest with you. Nobody does, because they're so closed off that nobody knows. And so, if you can get in on the bottom of one of these up and coming companies, Chinese companies, or anything to do with China, that's where it's at. Get in on the bottom, be a founding member over there, because you got to remember that these people have been top dog on all our tech stuff since day one. They've been way ahead of us in the tech department. And so talk about AI and bots. Can you imagine what they have already that we haven't even seen yet? So that is the stuff that you need to, or if you want to make money, to get in on the bottom on companies there. Just not that I'm a financial advisor, but yeah, so that's where we're heading. So how are they going to do this? I don't know. I'll be a little bit concerned about this here, Trojan horse type of thing. Let's go a little further here, and then let's look down a little bit. You got gavel, and it's breaking that, whatever that thing is called. So that hit pretty hard. So can we say that the courts?
I would assume that would be like the Supreme Court is breaking rules or breaking up something, or
Well, the court is breaking up. Maybe the whole court system, the whole law, the whole American law, everything. They just get broken up, because you see some coins and pills, of course.
Well, they're doing away with the penny. So, and it looks like that could be the penny there. No more pennies.
Yeah, the penny will be gone. I mean, the penny's worth more than the penny. And you see all this money is laying around everywhere. So that could be the end of the dollar, and the dollar is just laying in the streets, not worth the ink it's printed on, type of thing. And again, so this, you're going further down and see more robots. We're seeing, is that a
election box?
Huh?
Elections.
The election thing. Yeah, they're talking about that right now, of trying to, make it so that it's fair and whatever. They got to try and figure things out so that, things aren't going to continue on the way that they have been. So that's hopefully they'll resolve that. The dollar looks kind of crumbled up here. It looks like it's breaking up, falling apart. Looks old and falling apart. Yeah, that's basically representing the American empire that's about to crumble. And and here Martian, walking around. Or no, that's not a Martian. That's a
That's a
robot.
robot. That's a robot.
Carrying
Carrying
stuff. So that's
packages.
another
Amazon.
robot. Yeah. And, here's another thing. Wine glass spilling. Red
Mhm.
wine spilling. I wonder what that's all about. Are we going to have with the wine industry?
No, I think you got to look deeper. What does wine represent?
It could
Wine
be blood,
represents.
spilt blood, red wine, blood. That's what they do in the church to represent that they're drinking Jesus' blood, right?
Well, that I was thinking more on the lines of wine represents, prosperity, happiness, but it looks like it's spilling out of the glass. So it could be, well, there goes our prosperity along with the money, because when you're rich, you drink the wine, and well, the wine is spilling out of the glass, and so now your prosperity is leaving you.
That could be. Yeah, it is a sign of good times, isn't it? Usually,
Yes.
people can afford wine with their meal, and they're probably doing pretty good. You know what I mean? So maybe we're not. There's. Yeah, and then when you go to this whole cargo thing, if we stop importing and exporting, well, a lot of wine is going to be, not every region is able to grow wine, so or grapes to make the wine. So that would be an end to wine anyway. If you're not getting the European wines, or you don't live close to the states that make wine, then you're going to be dry, essentially. Yep. So that could be. And there's more rockets, of course. Another rocket there. I don't know what this woman is doing. Is just jumping at it.
Is there an Olympics coming up? Because you could see the runners and boxers
boxing.
And yeah. Is there Olympic games coming up?
I think there is, actually. I haven't
maybe
looked that up.
Maybe that's what it's about. Because the one guy's skiing, you see the guy on the bottom there, he's skiing, and then running and boxing and more runners, and that's what I would say that's representing is at the bottom or the end of the year. That would say it's move over. See the guy with his foot there, and he's kicking in all the little lines. No, down to the left. There you go. See the guy? He's a soccer player.
Yeah.
And then all those little lines go to the skier, the runner, the boxers. Yes, that's got to be what it is. See?
So you got soccer, running, boxing, skiing, and more running.
Yes.
Yeah, kickoff. So there's definitely something to do with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Now I haven't looked in. Maybe you guys can comment down below as to when the Olympics is, where it's going to be at. Definitely keep an eye on that area since they're mentioning it here. Other than that, I don't see any danger around it. I mean, you got what is this, a remote control? I mean, you got your pills and your things or whatever, but yeah. And what's this?
Okay.
Ice?
So it says listen. It says the 2026 Winter Olympics Winter Olympic Games will be held in Corina, Italy, in February 6th to the 22nd of 2026. Oh, that's coming right up.
That explains the wine.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. 116.
Famous for their wine. Yes.
It's with the Paralympics following in March. The games will showcase 116 events, 8 sports, including skiing, mountaineering, with ceremonies in Milan and Verona, and NHL players set to return to Olympic hockey. So there you go. So that's coming right up. So yeah, we were right. There it is, the Olympic Games.
And I see a lot of melting looks like to me melting snow or melting ice.
Climate change.
So that could be Antarctica. I have heard that it is melting. I'm trying to see if
I mean, how else would you represent climate change? They got to get that climate change in there.
Well, no, they've already debunked that. They've already told us that that's a hoax.
I know, but they kind of reinforce it because see around the see the ice cube melting. You see the leaves right there. There's leaves next to it. Yeah, so ice.
And money is just all over the place.
And money, yeah.
everywhere. There's leaves everywhere down there. I'm trying to notice if there's any time of the year signals anywhere else here.
Yeah. So that's how I'm looking at it. Is and then the robot dogs are everywhere too.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
that's
why
going to
the
be
robot dogs are.
a lot more because law enforcement is going to be a thing of the past. Those robot dogs and your drones and everything is going to take care of that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
that's about it here. Now, I don't know, is there anything else that stood out that you want to mention? I'm just trying to see.
Well, like I said, I was going to say, if, with the pills everywhere, most of our medications are made in China. And if we do happen to go to war with them, pills are all around the world. They would become real scarce.
No, I don't see us going to war with China. It's just no way.
Well, I know, but it's inevitable because somebody has to be the world power. And they were, I was listening to a thing today, and they were talking about how many Chinese people go to college versus the United States people going to college. And 20 or 30 years ago, like 30% of their kids went to college, and today 70% of those go to college, and those people are some of the smartest people out there. Is those Chinese kids who study from the break of day. Their school year is like 12 months long.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
This is the thing. Like, I guess it was part of the plan, or they wouldn't have done it. They just destroyed this country, in the last 50 years, I would say. The day that the television came in, that was the beginning of the end for the Western world. We literally was told a vision, we were programmed, and part of that programming was the food. How do you think we all of a sudden, we got told that, margarine is bad for you. Oh, I don't want to eat that. Where do you think we got that from? That's from the television. Yeah. How else would we thought about that? Right? Oh, you got to get a new microwave. It's the new coolest invention. You got to get that. Where did we find that? Well, that would have been on TV commercial. So everybody went out and bought it. You know what I mean? So we were literally led to slaughter, to be honest with you, led into obesity, led into the state that we're in. We went from leave it to beaver to today. Okay. In 50 years, like real freaking quick. It's unbelievable how quick they were able to do it. And how easily people are manipulated and conned into whatever they want.
Well, they dumbed down the children, by giving them the curve. When you were in school, did you get this? We're going to grade you on the curve. Well, because everybody got a D, the D is now an A, and everybody else goes down the line, and you even got one answer right, you pass.
Right. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and rag on us. We were all part of it. We all got led down that same route. But on the same token,
we did.
On the same token, this guy didn't. Not just this guy, but that empire. Okay, and there's a reason why they don't let their people watch the same television programming that we do. Okay, they don't allow it. They have their own internet. They got their own things. They don't want their people all dumb and fat and believe all this nonsense that we have, right? So it's very easy for them to take over at this point. We don't even have really a military, enough. There's no way we're going to war with these guys because we'll be dead in 10 seconds. I hate to say it, and if this is how they're going to Trojan horses, that's going to be very interesting. I'm going to get out of the sharing here. Very interesting indeed. What do you guys have to say about all this? Oh, we're right on the hour. I wasn't even looking. There you go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the chat. I see there's a couple people in here. I'm glad to see you guys are here. I do recommend, if you are watching it on the podcast, to, make your way over to the YouTube, subscribe, and join us in the live chat. I go live every Sunday at 6 o'clock Pacific time zone. That's 9 Eastern. And I'm on all the different platforms, so I would like if you guys could follow me there. And all the links are in the description down below. Yeah. What else? Is there any questions in here? See, the beauty about the live is that you do have an opportunity to ask some questions. Okay. Now, if you are later, you're watching this on the other platforms, just use the comment section on the platform that you're at, and I will definitely get back to you. And I'm just going to see if there's anything here that we want to. Okay, I think the guy carrying the package has a radiation suit or spacesuit on, with my interpretation. Yeah, that's what I thought too right away. It looked kind of weird, but then looking at it, it looks more like a robot to me as well. But you never know. It could be a radiation thing. I mean, that definitely could be coming up, you know. So, and what else she's saying here? World Cup and Olympics. Yes, there's a lot of that coming up, I guess, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Putin and these. Oh, maybe that was Putin. Was that Putin? Maybe that guy that we didn't know who it was. Yeah, that's maybe it. That,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if that looks like Putin because he's got hair on his head and Putin's kind of bald, you know. But maybe his replacement. You don't know. They probably got replacements for him. I don't know.
Well, Putin's got the tiny bit in the back. You know how it goes. I mean, even Netanyahu, he doesn't have a lot up there, but, you know, a little bit combed over. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's probably who that is. That would make sense to have those three there and him there, right?
Yeah.
It would kind of make sense. That probably is.
I don't know.
Let's see what else we got in here.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, this is going to be definitely an interesting year. Everything's been holding off for so long. And most of this picture is all about war. Tanks, missiles, you know, cargo ships with guns firing, lasers from the sky, drones. If you really started adding this up, most of this picture is about war. That's what I get. There's a little bit on the Olympics, and then there's all the rest is pretty much war, presidential guys and war, and presidential guys and war.
And also a lot of pills, which is kind of concerning with the whole medication. Why so much medication? And then you got 2 of the, you know, injectables. So expect that. Now, I didn't really see a pandemic in there.
Well, there is a bunch of needles. So, you know, the
I said that already. Yeah, I know. So I don't know what that medication will be for then. You know, I don't know. Is there something else coming around the corner that we're going to need medication
for? It could be like I Am Legend. Remember that? Did you ever watch that show where, you know, he's the guy that invented the cure for cancer and everybody takes it and then they turn into zombies, and that's how it happened. And you never know, they might sneak that in there, the cure for cancer. Everybody
I hate to bust your bubble, but they've already come out. So was it a year ago or a year and a half ago or something like that? All the royals all of a sudden came down with cancer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Charles, I mean, Katie, everybody got cancer. Well, just 6 months later, or whatever it was, they came out with the cure for cancer. And I thought for sure that, oh yeah, here you go. Now the royals going to take it. Look at me, I'm all cured. And so that's going to be, you know, then we're going to like, oh, well, we're all going to take it, right? Of course, because nobody wants to get cancer, you know. So if there's a, you know, cure for it, then obviously we're gonna take that. Especially if the royals are proving that you know that it worked on them, right? Now I didn't hear it. I was expecting that to go that way, although I didn't hear any more, so I don't know. But that has already come out, and I don't know why it hasn't taken off. But maybe they were waiting until this year, so maybe that the pills that we're seeing, maybe that's the medication for cancer. Who knows? So who knows? You know, why is it all? If it's not a pandemic, then what is it for, right? So. Yeah, that could be quite possibly, and that is definitely one of those things that, you know, most people probably will take, you know what I mean? So, yeah. But mind you, after watching that movie, I'm certainly not gonna. I'll wait and see how everybody else fares, you know? I'll give it a year and see how you're still doing, and then maybe I'll take it. But, you know, yeah.
Don't worry, if you don't take it, the zombies will come, you know, and eat you anyway. So either way. You're either a zombie
Either
or
way, you're kind of screwed then, yeah. I don't know. I know, right?
oh, I know. It's just kind of funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, but yeah, so a lot of good times looks like we're heading for. So, I mean, we survived this year. I mean, we didn't think we were gonna. Just according to the
Yep.
Deagle report and everything else, we thought for sure that, oh, this is it. Well, maybe, either A, we changed timelines. Maybe they decided that, oh, well, because they're talking about it, maybe we'll just we'll change plans then. We'll do something else instead, or it just took them a little bit longer. Maybe it's this year, So especially when you look at all those tanks and that Trojan horse type of thing with the cargo ship.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I mean, why would they show that there if that's not something that they're thinking about doing?
I know. They've been talking about it. I mean, like I said, I've heard that for years that they've been turning these cargo ships into, floating container ships and each container has got weapons in them. And there would be no way to really know because, there's so many hundreds of container ships going back and forth. What are you going to do? Stop each one and open up each container and say, take it off in the middle of the ocean here, take it off and we'll check it out. You can't. I mean, if you know anything about those container ships, you got to have big giant cranes to move them around and so forth and so on. And it's, yeah, you could, those things are so huge. You've seen them, I'm sure, right?
Well, yeah, I live on the coast here, and that's what my son does for a living is to empty those containers. So that's why I'm a little bit, if this is coming here, I'm a little concerned about that.
Those ships are ginormous. Those ships are.
Yes, they
are so big. When you wouldn't know what's inside them.
I mean, easily have containers on the outside and then have something else on the inside there, and for sure. But now they've just spilled the beans. I mean, everybody's seeing this. I mean.
Yeah, but even if they told you, like I said, you would have to stop each container ship and then unload it to see, is it a container?
Be too late. By the time you realize something's going on, it'll be too late. Yeah.
And you could have 10 or 20 of them. Nobody would know. They could pull right in the port where you are at, and you got a floating army right there. So,
yes, I am wise is saying that the thing took 3 years till it turned into zombies. Great.
In the movie? Yeah, in the movie, maybe.
Well, it wouldn't, if you think like them, you have to think like them, right, in order to understand what's going on. Why would you do that? Like, why would you? To me, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. It would just. There's so many other ways of doing it where they can eliminate it so much faster and so much like that. Just seems like a lot of freaking trouble.
I think this isn't a race. I don't think they're planning any of this stuff as a race. Like, oh boy, we can do it because if they wanted to, they just push the big red button and boom, get rid of it tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're doing it at well, if it takes 50 years to get rid of everybody, well, then we're just going to do that.
Well, and then we got to go back to the fact that they came out and told us that they've spent $21 billion on underground cities and bunker systems. So, so we know that they're not going to be part of it, right? They'll be down there waiting it out until we have,
Yeah. Well, just like plastic. They've been talking about plastic in our foods and stuff like that. And, well, everybody has an equivalent of a plastic spoon and floating around in their body. Whereas 100 years ago, nobody had plastic in their system. Can this even be good for us?
Obviously not. Well, obviously they don't have our best interests at heart. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done all the things that they've been doing. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into that here, but we've all fallen for it, and we've all, apparently we have enough plastic equivalent of a credit card apparently inside our bodies from all the stuff. So, you know, and just try to, you know, it's a new year, so maybe now is a good time to make some changes, move over to mason jars and move over to more holistic and all this kind of stuff, right? Try to make some changes in your own life. That's all you can do. You know, some things you just can't avoid, but, you know, try to, make some choices, you know, some better choices. But I think that's it for this show. I hope that you guys got something out of it. I mean, it was just curious to see what they got planned. A little disturbed about the Trojan horse thingy and all the pills. I don't know what that's all about, but I guess we'll find out. The astrology is kind of hinting that it's going to be pretty turbulent up until about April from the looks of it. So, you know, just buckle up and stay safe, everybody. Stock up, like I've been saying. You never know what's coming, so be prepared for everything. Be prepared for the worst, right? And hope for the best, obviously, right? So, yeah. What else do you have for us, Robert, coming up?
Not much, but everybody can join me on Tuesday nights on Native American Myths and Legends. Catch me over there with David Null, Hawkeye Two Feathers, the best storyteller on YouTube. So we'll see you all over there. And this has been a great show. And people, look at that picture. Download it yourself. Look at it. Make your own determinations.
Yeah, take a closer look, everybody, and leave us some comments as to what you think that maybe we missed or that we misinterpreted or whatever, you know what I mean? And if you do, want to support us, make sure you follow us on all the platforms, subscribe to YouTube's and all that. And then if you would like, go and check out the merch store. I got a whole pile of merch. We, of course, got the Beyond Truth. It's already in there. If you want to have matching to our show here now, you know, we're all wearing it. Yeah. Robert's got his own merch. Yeah. Robert's got his own merch in there, and so does Arwin Steiger. He's got his merch in there as well. One-stop shop for all three channels. So go and check that out if you'd like. And all the links for all that stuff is in the description. I know on the podcast, of course, there is no links. So for those who are listening, it's streamlabs.com /Nino the Mystic /merch. As a link there, and my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram is all at Nino the Mystic 68. So that makes it kind of easy there. Thank you all for watching or listening wherever you are. Make sure you hit that like before you leave, and we'll see you guys next week. We got some good stuff coming up. We got a special guest that we're going to be talking with here, and so it's going to be some good stuff coming up. So stay tuned, everybody. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.